Hey there, it's Rusty Nelson talking watercolor. This is vlog 45, it looks like, episode 8, season 2, and we're bouncing in here to talk about what's coming up in the coming week. Let's see, I'm recording this on Monday, so today I just dropped an ink drawing of a raven. And it's a kind of a precursor to another portrait tutorial that I'm going to do, in that I'm working with the whole big envelope shape, or trying to find the big shapes and then tone it, or work it down into the finer shapes as you develop a portrait, and using some method to develop a face or a portrait of a person. So that's kind of what I just dropped today. I know this is Wednesday, so today is 2 days ago. Let's see, and I'm going to be working with some watercolor tutorials and probably another drawing tutorial focusing on basic shapes and with an emphasis on textures. So how do you go about creating textures in your scenes, in your drawings of objects and things like that. So working with some basic structures, and then working with mark making and value and irregular marks, all these things that create a sense of visual texture, symbolic texture that reads properly in whatever context it's being applied to in your drawing. So those are really the upcoming demos and tutorials coming up. I'll make sure they're kind of quick and very descriptive. So those seem to be doing best on my channel when I'm really going into the nuts and bolts of the fundamentals. So I'll definitely make sure I'll talk my way through those as well. So I'm getting a little better at talking and drawing at the same time. Although I have noticed there's still some long gaps when I'm sitting down and really trying to concentrate and get something to turn out right. So, and I'm still amazed, in the time I've been on YouTube, and the videos that have popped off and really have done well. They have been the ones where the lesson is there, but the end result of what I've done, it just is. It's like, damn, I should have done a little better job. But I'm definitely one of those. I'm not going to let perfection get in my way, because I am still learning how to do a lot of this stuff with the YouTube videos and editing and all of that. So I'm plugging forward. It's damn the torpedoes. We're going ahead, and I'll do it, post it. If it turns out looking good, great. If not, it's like, yeah, it's another one I'll chalk up to learning. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I did want to talk, I mentioned back in January at the start of the year that one of my main goals for this year was to somehow develop some sort of a way of monetizing and making a little more money from the channel and the audience that I've built. And I mentioned earlier, maybe it's a mini course, and I'm still thinking of a mini course. I haven't made any progress on any of that yet. I've been really trying to keep my head above water with the new semester. I've got several new things happening this semester that I've not dealt with before in the course of a semester. Not that the topics are any different, but and I am having fun. I'm getting back in and doing some more 3D modeling, and I'm fascinated with that. So I'm really appreciative to have these two courses in 3D modeling that I'm teaching. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about going into software, and you construct and build and model everything that goes into the scene. And we use an open source software called Blender, and it's an extensive piece of software and a high learning curve. And so we're all getting better at that up at the school with my students, and I model along with them, trying to learn the software. And it's something I can see myself really getting into pretty deeply and geeking out over, in addition to my watercolor, in addition to my drawing stuff that I really love doing. So it's something that I think, instead of being that old guy in the basement making model trains and things, the environments for model trains, I'll be that old guy sitting at the computer modeling, old scenes and stuff, old buildings and cityscapes with 3D modeling as well as watercolor. So anyway, but no, I haven't made any progress toward monetization yet. It's been on the back of my mind. I've actually been thinking maybe it might be a good thing to do as a live stream. Maybe offer a membership, and that's what you can get, I guess, as a value added for joining a membership. To support the channel on my Patreon channel is to subscribe for a membership, and you'll get to be able to come in and live stream with me. I haven't live streamed before. I've just messed around with it a little bit, so I'm not quite sure. I might test it out and see how it goes and see what kind of hardware is still needed for me to be able to do this properly. It might be something I just set up through Zoom and Zoom stream it over to YouTube. My weather radio is beeping. We're cold. We're really cold here. We're under a winter advisory, so that's why it's beeping and going off. So, yeah, it's really cold. If we can make it through February, we might survive into spring. So yeah, let me know if you think a live stream membership opportunity to maybe Zoom stream in and ask questions, maybe get some critiques. If you have the capability of showing me, with your camera, your cell phone or something, what you've been drawing, I'd be happy to jump in there and give you some critiques and talk to you about the processes, the trials and tribulations of learning how to draw and paint. It's fascinating, it's fun, it's frustrating, all the above, and you can't find a better activity to keep you interested in life, I think, and doing some new things. So let me know. I'll maybe post that question out to my my posts, my community tab on the channel. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for something that, I think people would be interested in, maybe bouncing in and visiting with me, and we can have some fun doing that. So, what else has been going on? Yeah, it's another thing. Another thing I've been bad at so far in 2025 is trying to do more on other platforms. I haven't been doing any shorts. I've been thinking about maybe resurrecting a few shorts and getting them posted out to YouTube. But I do have a Facebook page for R.L. Nelson Arts, and I haven't really posted much to it. I think it could be a good platform as well. I do have an Instagram account. I've posted a few things recently out to Instagram. I kind of let it go by the wayside as I was getting my my YouTube channel up and running. So, but again, I do want to just focus primarily, and that is where all my efforts are really kind of concentrated right now, is on YouTube. I want to continue to provide these lessons and tutorials to YouTube first. So if I do anything else to my website, to Instagram, to Facebook, any of those things, or even my own community tab on YouTube, I've just never been that good about constantly putting content out there on those. So I've taken it as a big win to be able to have posted as many tutorials onto YouTube as I have in the last year. So, and the growth is happening. I've been very happy. I'm almost up to 25,000 subscribers. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed, who are watching. I'm almost to 1 million views, which is mind-blowing in so many ways. This YouTube channel, in 1 year, I have reached more people than I did in my previous 40 years, or at least 28 years in higher education, and maybe even including my advertising career as well. So, I mean, that's just fascinating to me as well. So, and then one of the final things, I think, I know what it was. I had one comment that was really pretty good, asking in the comment, they loved the tutorial. It was one of my watercolor, I think it was the pears, asking me about how do I pick my colors. And I think the pears was a very, very limited color palette. I think it might have been in CMYK only. But how do I pick colors? And I know people are always fascinated and wanting to know and see the mixing of the colors. in the demos as well. And I try to show plenty of the mixing at the beginning of the color blocking, when there is a lot of color mixing and getting that right color and this and that. But once I start glazing, there's a lot of pretty much just pure color, saturated, desaturated colors where I'm laying in glazes and stuff like that to create the compound colors. But I guess the best thing I would say is to, if you haven't done it, do so, but paint yourself a color wheel, right? This is really the roadmap for choosing colors right here. So you got your primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, all right? And then you secondary colors, you mix those primary colors together. You get your green, violet, and orange. And then the tertiary colors, the red, orange, yellow, orange, blue, green, yellow, green. Well, let's see. Yeah, yellow, green. Yeah, oh, the red, violet, blue, violet, and things like that. That is really your roadmap for making color decisions. So, for instance, on those pairs, let's see, let me find them. These pairs right here, this is the piece right there. So it's predominantly a yellow palette overall. So I was working with, on here, not only, here's the yellow right there, but I was using harmonious colors, those greens and blues right up in through this area. Whoop, there we go. I'm not a weatherman. There we go. So those are pretty predominant in the piece. You can kind of see those happening. There we go. Right, and there we go. And then I also threw in some oranges. And again, they're just on the opposite end of that harmonious wheel. So you can go five notches either direction for harmonious colors. And then I even worked in, if I remember right, some purples. And if you look on the color wheel, the violets are right across. That's a complementary color. So those will really harmonize, not harmonize, they will complement the yellows in the piece. And so you really do and can make all your color choices based off that color wheel. Or just keep it as simple as thinking, this was a yellow glaze in here, and I'm pretty sure I just dropped in some very thin phthalo blue, which is transparent, interacts with the yellow underneath to create the green, right? So just keep in mind, if you want shadows will recede, so you need to paint a cool color into a shadow. And then there was a little dab of, I think, some shade in there to get the density for some of the dark darks, or you just mix up your complementaries, a good thick complementary, and a little bit of shade for that denser line that you're trying to paint. So, but yeah, it's all about managing and understanding that color wheel and when to choose it. If you remember this little video here, oh, there it is. Can't get it quite straight. There it is. Anyway, and all of these are using the same notion behind it. And there's the one I just dropped. So, yeah, you can kind of see all of these are complementaries and harmonious colors being used, and then just mixing in that shade into it to knock down the chroma and increase the density, the contrast into the color, and you should be good. So that was a really good question. So it really does, it's really that simple. So don't make it any more complicated than that. And again, you don't need a huge palette of colors. Actually, a limited color palette, one will be cheaper, but you can buy a whole really nice set of maybe Winsor Newton or M. Graham, or any of the expensive things in 4 colors, and just learn how to mix properly, and you'll be that much ahead. And then when you get good at it, you can start expanding out and buying some other colors, so you don't have to do quite as much mixing. But that's essentially it. So, all right. Hey, I think I have probably gone on now for about 15 minutes. So I hope you did get some value out of this little discussion today, and look for the upcoming simple shapes and textures that I'm going to be working with in the coming videos, both I think drawing and the watercolor tutorials. I do want to get some more face and portraits done. Those perform really well on the channel, so people are really interested in learning how to draw other people and faces and things like that. And I'll get some more, I'm investigating some more processes and methods to see if I can show you what those methods will bring to the table. I'm a firm believer in working with a whole range of things until you find the things that work for you, or you work with them all until you internalize them all enough to where it all starts to come together when you start drawing a face. So, I mean, drawing people and faces and things like that, figures, that is one of the more compound and complex advanced levels of drawing that you're going to get into. So, and then translate that over into painting with watercolor, and you're going to be a master at it before you know it. So, hey, I do hope you got some value out of today's talk. If you did, give me a like and a subscribe, and head over to my description. Click on the there it went again. Click on the links in my description, and it'll take you over to my website. I have some more resources out on my website. In addition to Loomis, I'm going to get a better drawing out there of some Riley method, and I have a George Bridgman couple of books I found on archive.org that you can download as well for another process and means of drawing a human figure. So I'll see you in the next video.